Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome. My name is Dr. Mary Starr. I'm known as the Total Wellness Doc and Mom, and it's my privilege to be here with you today to give you some tips about losing 6 to 12 pounds right up to Labor Day. If you don't know, you don't live in the United States, we're talking about anywhere from 10, 14, or even 21 days, depending on you and your health. So I'm going to share a quick picture. I'm going to share my screen, and Gwen, our awesome admin, is going to be looking in the comments. She wants you to tell us where you're tuning in, if you're joining us live, and maybe someone who invited you. At the end of this training, this live training, we are going to pick randomly from all the people who are here. We're going to go ahead, and we have such a great turnout today. We're going to pick 5 people who can get a remote Zyto scan link. Now, this is still in the beta testing, but we're hoping that it works, and it's just something you simply download on your phone, and it gives you a scan that will help you, particularly with your weight loss too. So we'll talk more about that at the very, very end. All right, let's get started. I want to introduce myself and my picture way back just a while ago. So my name again is Dr. Mary Starr Carter, and previously to living a much healthier lifestyle, I was a chiropractor who specialized in essential oils and wellness and helped women, particularly women in their 50s and 60s, late 40s, who found themselves out of health, we'll call it, in a state of high inflammation, disease. I saw a lot of fibromyalgia clients, and all the women were overweight. And at that time in my life, I found myself overworking, getting in that same situation myself. But we found some clues and some tips. But all those years, and then when I had children and then moving on, I found myself very obese over here on the left, 50 pounds overweight. And I found a way to start living a lifestyle that was different, even different than the healthier lifestyle. Because I think you all agree, most of you out there probably know how to live a healthy lifestyle and probably are living a healthy lifestyle. Write in the comments if you're struggling and you just can't figure out why you can't lose the weight. Well, that was me some time ago. And I've really fine-tuned that and refined that with a program that we'll talk about at the end called Rev Up. And we've got some amazing people from our Rev Up program going to share with you today. All right, so let me share my screen one more time and bring up our PowerPoint, and we're going to go nice and quick through this so that you can hear from all of these beautiful women and men who are going to be. All right, so lose 6 to 12 pounds by Labor Day. That's today's topic. And what is the problem? The main problem for women over 40 is that we are losing weight. We are struggling with hormones. We're losing muscle. So if you didn't know this, you need to know this, that when you start going through perimenopause, menopause, and postmenopause, you are going to lose weight. Every decade, I think it's lose muscle 5 to 7 pounds. That's why you can weigh 130 pounds and not even be overweight according to all the charts, but your body 10 years later can look radically different. We call it a menobelly, a menopause belly. Anyone know what I'm talking about? You can raise your hand or go down in the chat. So it's this little paunch that we get, especially after having children, and that just kind of sits there, and our body redistributes the weight, our hips, our belly. And that's too because we're having a hormone decrease. So we're getting weight gain. Weight gain and storing more fat is going to increase our cancer rates through the roof. That's why 1 in 4 women are going to find themselves with some form of cancer. Our hair starts to thin, our aches and pains go up. But we are here to share with you today, myself and probably over a dozen other women are going to share with you today, it doesn't have to be this way. Women over 40 can and should feel amazing with a few simple changes. All right, are you ready? All right, we have a collective of 7 amazing wellness coaches and probably a dozen more wellness educators on today Us 7 wellness coaches have collectively released over 500 pounds. 500 pounds. This woman in the middle, Megan, you can see here, Megan has, let me see if I can do this here. Megan has released 100 pounds in 9 months. Jennifer is over 85 pounds. Myself, I have released over 50 pounds. I initially lost that weight in 8 months. And then as life will have it, sometimes we do put on a few pounds here and there during stressful times. And I've just, again, released another 20 pounds and gained so much muscle. I feel just amazing with our Rev Up program. So let's start with 5 tips for releasing weight. Tip number 1. Now you've heard it. You might not know it. Maybe you have, but tip number 1 is sleep. If you are over 40, you might have been able to get away with 4 hours sleep, 5 hours sleep, maybe even 6 hours sleep for a very long time. Maybe you were a caretaker like Leanne. Maybe you had a lot of little kids for a long period of time. But if you do not prioritize your sleep and what we now know as sleep hygiene, this could be a major contributor to your weight problem. And I have been working with clients and colleagues for many, many years. And if we can get this under control and help with sleep and help you get a good night's sleep, because some people sleep 9 hours, but they're just not rested, right? If we can help you get a good night's sleep, we can change so much, including, in my opinion, a lot of disease comes from sleep, lack of sleep, poor quality sleep, breathing issues. Now, I could go on and how to get better sleep. I've worked with 3 components that will help you, and we'll talk about that as well. One is your sleep hygiene, okay? Getting up at the same time every day and going to bed. And that is simple. We do it for our kids, but we kind of lose that, especially in our retirement years. In our later years, we forget about sleep. But many of us, wellness educators and wellness coaches, work with premium essential oils that have been found to help the body get in a very relaxed state, help the nervous system calm down, shut off the mind, and really dive in. And I'm sure in the chat, I can have some of my wellness educators share some of their favorite essential oils for sleep, all the way up to clients who maybe even are having to take sleep medicines. I guarantee you, if you use some of the tools that we're going to talk about today, including lifestyle changes, essential oils, nutritional facts, even the food that we eat, you will live better and probably not need some of those sleep medications. Honest to goodness, I kid you not. So sleep is so important, and we have many good solutions. The other thing is that women over 40 are very much depleted in magnesium. So there's a lot of good research right now in magnesium and how it helps the body, not just taking it at night, but even throughout the day. It helps us emotionally regulate. It helps our body. It helps with aches and pains. And there's a lot of good foods with magnesium in it, but sometimes we do need to take some supplements. And our wellness educators here can probably share our favorite magnesium supplement, which is Mega Cow. And I'm going to go through this quick because on Thursday we have another class if you want to dig in more to learn more about some of the tip products we talk about and more things there. We have another class, 30-minute class here, but we're going to be quick today and give you 5 more. Tip number 2 of our tips for releasing weight is fitness. Now, a lot of times women over 40, they come to me and they say, well, I work out all the time. I walk every day, or I walk 3 times a week. I'm really active in my job. And the list goes on. Like, they believe that they're getting enough fitness, or they're like Corey here, so I'll bring her up in a second, who could not work out. And she'll share a little bit in a second, whether it's because of a disease or like Corey, osteoporosis. They felt they could not work out. So I'm going to find Corey. She's going to tell you how old she is, where she was, and before she started our Rev Up program and this lifestyle, what kind of fit level she was. But fitness is so important, and it has so much to do with all that muscle that you lose at that age. Here we go, Corey. Hey, beautiful.
Hi, you guys. Hi, you guys. Can you hear me? Okay, good. My name is Corey. This Rev Up Wellness has helped me to release 35 pounds, and I have kept it off for a year. When I started this journey, I was flat on my back with a crushed vertebrae. They diagnosed me with osteoporosis, osteopenia, told me I had to be super careful, brittle bone, just, the whole gamut. So they also told me that pain would be something I would have to live with for the rest of my life. So, okay, here we go. I was 3 months in bed. Now I got to get out of bed and I got to start PT. I could barely move. They had me get on my hands and knees on the ground, and it took 3 days for me. They wanted me to lift my hand up and touch my shoulder. It took 3 days to get it 1 inch off the ground. So I couldn't stand. Getting down to the bottom of the driveway it took weeks to get to the bottom of the driveway. Here's the thing. I just got so angry at them for telling me I was going to have to live in pain and that I was going to be limited in my movement, and the fear that I had to be really super careful. So when I started to remove all the inflammatory foods, ramped up on the NingXia Red, ramped up on the water, and started giving my body 30 minutes of a conscious movement to really exercise the muscles, not working hard in the garden, not doing housework, but actually taking the individual muscles in my core and working the abs in all different ways to give my back more support. I actually started healing my body from the inside out. It was little baby steps. If you can just meet yourself where you are, if you can only do, barbells with no barbells or a can of soup, then that's just where you are. As your body gets stronger, you just get stronger and you can do more. And it actually starts to feel good. And the pain, the more I worked out and the stronger my muscles got, all that bone pain went away. So all the fear went away. And now I'd like to do yoga. I like to do Pilates, but with all the research that I've been doing, I've been adding weightlifting, and muscle pays for the party. If you got muscle mass, you can get away with a lot more indiscretion, so to speak. And when you're investing in your body and you're making it stronger, it changes the lens that you look at life through. I'm up in Maine at a girlfriend's, and it's a rocky shore here. And this morning we went down to low tide and walked all around the rocks. And I would never have done that. Oh my gosh, what if I slip? I'll break something, blah, blah, blah. That fear is no longer there. So give yourself 30 minutes. My tip is to give yourself 30 minutes a day. Start where you are and keep going. Consistency is you get more rewards through consistency than intensity. And we're here to help you every step of the way. So I'll see you in Rev Up.
Thank you. And tell them how old you are.
Oh, 61.
61. Awesome. Good job. Thank you so much. So Corey shared a little bit with you. She's one of our coaches that has had such great results. So if anyone says to you, well, I can't work out 30 minutes a day, because fitness takes time, and it takes time that you're going to invest in you. And that's our minimum, 30 minutes a day, 6 days a week. And you will see radical changes, and that'll help your sleep. That'll help your weight loss, all of those things. But we all should be working up to actually doing not just weight bearing exercises, but actual, the research does show that lifting weights too. So we're all working towards that to make our body strong for our future. Okay. let's get back here. And we have so many things too, again, that can support that on your journey. If you join us in our Rev Up program, you'll hear more about that. So tip number 3, and that actually Corey is a great coach. She teaches a lot about this in the group. So does Coach Megan. But 5 tips for releasing weight. Tip number 3 is your digestion. After the age of 30, we lose digestive enzymes. The enzymes are what break down all the good food we eat and all the bad food we eat too. And without proper digestion, a lot of our food will just sit there. And research shows that most of us right now have anywhere from 10, 30, even 40 pounds of undigested food in our system. And what's that doing for us? Well, great. Just think of your trash can and you don't take it out and it's 98 degrees in your house. You don't take it out for a day, 2 days. You take it half out and the rest putrefies there. What is that doing? It's toxifying our body. It's congesting the liver. It's doing all of those things that really is just over the top, not good for us. So we are really adamant about digestion, and we do that in a few different ways. We encourage, but don't require, digestive enzymes. We work with essential oils that are food grade that help with digestion. And so many people feel so good. And I'll tell you my friend Janie's story. This enzyme right here, essential zyme, she had terrible shoulder pain, really awful shoulder pain, headaches, all that. When she started working with this one supplement, essential zyme, improved her bloating and digestion, she stopped having the shoulder pain. She stopped having the headaches. Now, why is that? Because everything is connected. Everything is connected. So digestion is so important. You probably haven't heard that, ladies over 40, that if you don't take care of that, then many times you're going to end up with a myriad of issues, including cholesterol, blood pressure, all those things. And looking at digestion is so important. Also in this tip for digestion, water, which we talk a lot about in our Rev Up program. Tip number 5, food. Now these funny looking things here, they all represent a different food group. The green represents vegetables, the purple fruit, the red proteins, the yellow carbohydrates, the blue fats, and the oranges represent fats and seeds as well. But here is 2 tips that you can take for food. And the number 1 tip, and the thing that really made the difference for Corey and clients like Corey and coaches like Corey, was this red container here. And that is protein. Most women over 40, one, they're not eating enough food and they're not getting enough protein. And without enough protein, you're not going to feel full. Your blood sugar is not going to be regulated. You can't build muscle. And if you have any type of injury, you can't heal well without protein. It is probably one of the most important things in our Rev Up program. I'm going to see if Jolene's there, because I know, Jolene, you used to love sugar and all of those things. Here's our amazing health practitioner and wellness coach. Let me find her, Jolene Berger. So you said you used to love having like sugar every day.
Yes, it's so embarrassing to say, because we all know sugar is not bad. And if you don't know, it does so many awful things to our body. It's considered an anti-nutrient. It, messes with our brain. It can be linked to dementia and all kinds of things. But when you're addicted to it, and you've also maybe heard, it's a little bit like, what is it? Crack, cocaine, heroin, whatever, like the really bad drugs. And I'm not saying any of them are good. However, they're very addicting. It's very addicting. So when I started to do the Rev Up, Mary had asked me, hey, what are some treats that you like? Like, well, if you were going to treat yourself? And I was like, I'm not even going to tell you what I would eat because it's so embarrassing. But then it occurred to me a little bit later that I had not craved my M&Ms, my peanut butter M&Ms. I had not craved them since I started drinking the 10 ounces of NingXia Red. Oh my gosh, it was absolutely amazing when I realized it, because I hadn't even thought about it. And then fast forward a month or so, and my dad brings over a bag of nuts with the little M&Ms in there. And she goes, oh, I haven't had M&Ms in forever. And I was like, yes, that's because I'm not addicted. But it made a humongous difference in my life. And I just can't say enough for it, because also those color, the yellow one is what really I noticed. I mean, you know a difference when you start to eat more protein, but what I had realized when I started measuring my carbohydrates was where I realized that I was eating way too much, and it was causing more inflammation in my body than I had realized. So a lot of swelling went down. I lost more inches than I would lose pounds. And it just, every couple of days, my husband will say, wow, you're just looking really smaller, or I can put my arms around you more so. And anyways, isn't it so powerful? And my mind is more clear. I'm able to get things done, not as frazzled, therefore stressed, therefore cranky.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And you were a health practitioner. You had, kind of eating on the healthy lifestyle, drank the things, took the things, but it's this dialing in of the Rev Up that really changed you these past 6 months. So it's just awesome. Absolutely awesome. All right. Well, we're going to talk about what you just talked about, that amazing NingXia Red drink. And we're going to talk about nutrients next. So another tip that you will find on when you're releasing weight is not only the food you eat, but you really break it down to the nutrients, right? So there's macronutrients, there's the carbohydrates, the proteins, all of that. And then there's these micronutrients, like things like antioxidants and your vitamins and your minerals. And you heard me talk about magnesium. And many of us have, since probably for almost 15 years, been using a nutrient infusion called NingXia Red. And this bottle right here, 50% of it is this little goji berry, which you see here, which is kind of like the secret weapon of the Chinese Olympic athletes, because it has minerals and amino acids in it, and vitamins, and it helps with eyesight, and it just all of these amazing things. And I've probably had thousands of people take NingXia Red and always hear, oh, I have improved digestion. I don't have the cravings. I don't want my coffee as much. I find if I have my NingXia Red, I don't go for the snack, cupboard in the afternoon. Like we've already known that. But then, like Jolene said, when we kind of super saturate and really fortify the body with this, it's just awesome. Just awesome. We've got lots of stories about that. So I am going to look here for our amazing coach, intimacy, wellness, mindset coach, Heather. She is out there somewhere. Let's find her, have her come off of mute. She's released over 100 pounds with this lifestyle. Let's see if we can find her.
I'm
Heather.
Here.
Yay.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, my name is Heather Noggle, and I am so excited to be here with you today. My story that I'm going to tell you, it's a little bit embarrassing because sometimes I don't realize the results until after they've been happening for a while. Like it took me months to even see that I had lost 70 pounds. I've lost 100 pounds, but like I was 70 pounds in before I could see it on my body. So this story is well before I got into the RevUp Wellness. I took part in just a challenge to drink more NingXia Red. And at that point in time, I hadn't thought about losing any weight. I was just living my life thinking that consequences were worth the little prison I was building for myself that I called, I can do what I want, I can say what I want, I can eat and drink what I want. But I did decide to do this NingXia Red challenge that was happening a few years ago. And I had been on a caffeine addiction roller coaster. Like I would try to go for a few days without it, and I would get a migraine and I would feel like garbage. And then I'd be like, forget it. I'm going to go to the Starbucks drive-through and get the, 700 calorie drink with all the foam and the drizzle and the it makes me feel so good. Right. So, I was And when on the days that I would go without the coffee, I would get to like 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon and I would feel like, oh, I'm dead. What's happening? I knew what was happening. I was craving my sugar and my caffeine. So we're about 3 or 4 days into this NingXia Red challenge, and it's about 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and I get this massive panic. And I don't even do panic. I'm like, whatever. I don't do panic. But this day, I felt super panicky. I was like, oh, snap. I'm about to feel like hot microwaved garbage because I haven't had any caffeine in about today. And then I got to thinking about it, and I hadn't had any caffeine in 3 or 4 days. Like, I literally broke my Starbucks addiction without trying because of NingXia Red. Could not believe it. Yes. Wow. That's how I felt about it. Anyway, I have so many more stories, but I'm going to keep this one short. It's so nice to see all you guys, but I would like to introduce my friend Becky. She went to my high school, and she's going to talk for a minute or two about her NingXia Red experience with Rev Up Wellness. Hey, Becky.
Hello. I went into the first Rev Up challenge kind of skeptical. I've tried all the different fads, but after the 10 days, I realized I'd had 2 neck surgeries previously and was in pain still again. And after doing the 10 days and drinking the 10 ounces of the NingXia Red, I no longer have the neck pain that radiates down my arm anymore. And I lost over 10 pounds with that first challenge. And I'm like 2/10 away from being able to say I've lost 30 pounds so far. But no, it's been a great blessing to me, and I really have enjoyed it and still continue to enjoy the program.
Oh, Becky, thank you so much for sharing. Wow. Thank you, Coach Heather. Sorry. All right. All right. We'll see you. Okay, so you've heard, what is this Rev Up? I've heard about NingXia Red. You showed me these containers. You know, what is this? Well, the Rev Up Wellness program came from the 7 coaches who had been through something called the biggest transformation, where we really fine-tuned our wellness over a 6-month journey where we had accountability, we had community, we were eating out of those containers, we were exercising 30 minutes a day, doing a variety of different things. And after that was done, you know, some of us continued that journey, like Heather and Coach Megan, who've lost 100 pounds, Coach Corey, and we came together and we said, you know, with all that we know as health professionals and health coaches and wellness coaches, we know we can dial this in even better with the anti-inflammatory piece. And we all took NingXia Red during this, and we all felt phenomenal. So we dialed in a program and worked on it for months and months and months to launch it back in February, I believe, February, March, and give it out there and just test it. And now we have story after story after story of individuals who've used the food, the water, the fitness, eating out of these funny looking containers, which isn't as hard as you think it is. I mean, it is just really fun and really phenomenal. So we have some more amazing Rev Up Wellness. We just came back from a trip where all of us got together and we danced and we laughed and we ate together. And some of us even lost some weight traveling across the country. So I'm going to bring Gwen up first and have her share her Rev Up story. You've been with us since March, right, Gwen?
Yeah, so I've been doing Rev Up since March, and I will say at the beginning I was a little like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. I don't know what the food is like, and I've tried other things, and I actually was at my heaviest weight when it was just about the time of Rev Up. Maybe a little bit before that, I might have lost a couple of pounds, but I was like, I know I can drink NingXia Red. I know I can drink water. I can move. I don't know about the food, so but I did it, and the first round I mostly followed the plan. I didn't quite get all the timing and all of that right, but I was able to lose like 3 pounds. And so every round I've been able to lose. And I actually now have lost about 25 pounds. But we were gone for 2 weeks. We were on vacation basically for 2 weeks. And I know that I feel better when I eat the Rev Up lifestyle. When I follow that plan, I feel better. So I made the effort to go to the grocery store and get things to have salad and some snacks. And if I wanted to go out to eat, or we were going out to eat, we went out to eat. We went out and had ice cream one night, and, you know, I had pizza and some of that, but for the most part, I mainly followed the plan. And when I got back, I figured, I might have gained like 5 pounds or something. And I was okay with that because I enjoyed my trip. I didn't stress over what am I eating. And I got on the scale the first morning that we were back, and I had lost from the end of the last challenge. And I was like, I don't know if that's right. So I got on the next day and it was even lower. And then I got on today and it was even a little bit lower. So even though I was gone for 2 weeks, I mean, when we were at convention, we danced and we got a lot of steps, but I also spent a lot of time in the car, not getting a lot of exercise, and I didn't sleep like I needed to. But the nutrition, and I did drink a lot of NingXia Red at convention, but following it mostly, I was able to maintain and actually lose just a little bit. So that's what I said. It is a lifestyle, and you feel better, so you want to do it. It wasn't a hardship for me to do it because I knew I would feel better if I ate that instead of eating like out every meal.
That's so good. And it shows you too, it's not about perfection. You can still get results without being perfect. That's so good. All right, Betty, I know you wanted to share with us too.
Hi, I'm 70 years old. I was a homeschool mom for 37 years, and I really didn't take care of myself very well. And so this has just been so excited. I've done the last 2 Rev Ups, and I've lost about 7 pounds. And the first Rev Up I did, I really didn't do the exercise enough. I got movement in, but not intentional exercise. And so the second one, I focused on really doing my movements and my exercise, and I lost 5 inches, which is awesome because you don't have to always lose weight to feel better and be better toned. But this is an easiest program I've ever followed. It's healthy. I'm a nurse and I know what I need to do, but this just made it really easy to follow. And I appreciated the encouragement and support that I got. So it's a great program.
It's fun. It's fun. It was great spending time with you too in Utah. Thank you so much for sharing. Miss Holly, can you come on for us?
Hi. So
Okay.
yeah, Rev Up. The first one I did, I've never dieted in my life, and I was overweight, but not enough. I thought that I needed to join a diet program. Didn't believe in them, but I learned that Rev Up was not a diet program. It was more about tackling the inflammation. And as I age, I find that I put on the weight faster and it doesn't come off as easily as it used to. So I thought maybe I can learn something. And being Cajun, we kind of like don't have any healthy food. So I thought I could learn some, what's quinoa? What do I do with quinoa? All these things I never heard. I was pleasantly surprised to learn the Rev Up lifestyle. It's just that it's a lifestyle. It's stuff I go to my grocery, and it's normal stuff I buy and normal stuff I eat. I just learned how to eat it in the right portions in the right way. And like Gwen, I lost weight since the last time we did it in, what was the last month? June. And I went to that Utah trip and I was floored that I didn't behave. I mean, I had ice cream too when I was there, and I don't ever eat ice cream, but to lose it when I'm not on the plan is just mind-boggling that it works if you just do some simple things. It just, when you give your body that nutrition, your body lets go of all that stuff you don't need. And I think that was the biggest for me, letting go of what I don't need because my body is getting the good stuff that I do need. So I will love this.
Show us your muscles. Show us your muscles.
Yep.
Look
More
at
muscles.
And how many months? How many months did that like?
Well, we started this in March, and I think it was probably May before I really started working out consistently. Consistency is key because now I do it and I got that little toner going on. Yeah.
Great job. Great job. I'm seeing Mary Borley and Teresa here too. I know you ladies, do you have a short testimony you want to come on? I see you on camera. Wave at me if you do. Okay, Mary's going to come on. Hey, Mary. Let's see. I can ask you to unmute. We see you over on the right. Oh, there you are. There you are.
Yeah, I've been doing the Rev Up program. Haven't lost the weight like you guys have, because mainly is not being perfect about it. But I have lost 22 pounds, and I forget how many, the fat part of it, that has gone down. But I do feel a lot better, you know.
Awesome.
So, and even though the scales isn't going down, my body, it's different shapes now. And people are always coming up to me going, how much weight have you lost? And I'm like, I'm still like 22 pounds. And they're like, but you look fantastic. You can tell. So it's working, you know.
So
and
good.
I
So
want
good.
to exercise. Like today, we decided after this, then we'll go swimming. But we go swimming and walking, and I have the hand weights right by my chair. So during commercials and stuff, just to make sure I get it in there.
Good job. Good job, Mary, too. And you're building muscle, right? Losing fat, building the muscle. There we go. Look at these.
I remember, I'm 67, so it is harder. You know?
Awesome. Awesome.
Nope. And the NingXia Red too has been working, because I used to be a coffee drinker all day long, and I'll drink like 1 or 2 cups now. I'm down to, so that's great.
Ooh, that's so good. Teresa, you want to share? Thank you.
Hey, so
coaches.
I started Rev Up back, I think it was April. And I did it just because I knew I needed like maybe 5 pounds to lose. I didn't have a lot, but I felt like crap all the time. And when I had eliminated all of those foods, the inflammation causing foods, I dropped 5 pounds in the first Rev Up, and I've since lost close to 20 since then, which is all I need to lose. Now I'm working on muscle, but I had a droopy eye that I didn't even realize I had. My face, like you can see, my eyes are actually open and they're not droopy. I'm sleeping better. I have energy, and it's absolutely phenomenal. I was floored, absolutely floored.
What would you say to moms who have a very stressful life as you do? Maybe they're a caretaker for an autistic child, or they're a caretaker for a spouse. Their lives are very full. What would you say to them?
Well, all of us that are caregivers, or even, moms that have lots of kids and everything, scheduling is key, and your time management is key. So when I decided that I really needed to work out every day, because the sweating helps me to detox and feel better, I sat down with my husband and we worked out a schedule, and we just said, okay, honey, can you please occupy my autistic son for this half hour so that I can do what I got to do? And then the kids got involved in it. And so now my youngest son comes and he's like, oh, are we going to work out now? Which one are we going to do? What video are we going to watch? Are we going to do the crazy guy that does all the arm stuff? And he gets excited. So now it's a family affair. And then my husband will take my autistic son just for, the 30 minutes so that we can do our thing, which is, scheduling.
So good. So good. It's neat to see the spectrum. We have people you heard from today who are caretakers. We've had people who are empty nesters. We have retirees. We have different individuals who are health practitioners. But all the people that you heard today are women. We didn't have any men share yet, but are women who are invested not in their own health, but also in your health. Teresa, Holly, Mary, Gwen, Betty, every person you heard is in a leadership position of wellness. They're a wellness educator. They might be a health practitioner. Jolene, They're Rev Up Ambassador, we call them. I know Tina's on here too. I don't know if she can come off of video though. She might be driving too. She has a phenomenal story, her and her husband. How many of you like to do this together? My husband, he did a modified Rev Up. So I was more strict, like many of the coaches. We were in a more strict program, strict meaning we didn't go off plan that much, right? We went off plan maybe a couple of times a month and scheduled it. But my husband did it very modified, and he's released over 53 pounds. And he had a terrible umbilical hernia for many years. He's been able to take care of that. He has muscle. He feels phenomenal. We'll have to show some of his pictures sometime. All right. So let me just make sure if we have anything else. Let me know if someone else has a story to share, or you can share it in the comments. Let me see here. Oh, we can look at Tina's picture here. Let's see. You didn't hear from Tina. I don't think she come off of mute, but look at this. Oh, yay. Yay. Tina, give us your short Rev Up story because we got to close shortly.
Oh my gosh. When we first started this, I was terrified of having to buy all the groceries. And I told my husband, I cried. And he said, well, you got to eat anyway. And so we started doing it. And then my husband started doing it with me the second time. And in the first Rev Up, we both lost 7 pounds apiece. And now he has gone from a size 40 pants down to a 34. And I've lost over 7 inches just in my chest area.
Wow. Wow. That is awesome, Tina. That is awesome. And I know you are just so happy, and you're doing the fitness, you're making the changes. Look at this woman. Like, look at how she is changing. Where will you be 6 months from now, Tina? I mean, it's just amazing. Karan, I don't think she's here. Karan, are you here? Off of mute. She is another amazing. She's a nurse and very busy, has a busy life. And she is just so passionate about Rev Up. And she was with us out there in Utah as well. You heard from Gwen and Betty. We like to have fun. We do Rev Up as a 10-day challenge. And the next challenge is starting right in August here. We're going to open up the group on August 2nd, and day 1 is the 7th. But here's the great thing, okay? We have a Facebook group. You get texts and emails as well, as long as you sign up for those. If you're here in the US or Canada, emails if you're across the globe, and our Australia clients and Philippines and Malaysia, all of that too. But what you get when the group opens is you get a step-by-step guide. So you get a step-by-step guide. So you learn about the containers, you learn how much water I'm going to drink, what kind of fitness, and you get all these good resources and videos as well. So we call them prep days. We schedule prep days for Friday the 4th, 5th, and 6th. Now you're going to say to me, well, I have a vacation that time, or I'm going to be traveling across the world. No worries. No worries. You want to sign up for the Rev Up program anyway, because you can just get in the group and you start when you can. Okay. The group usually will stay open. It's always going to be the first of the month, but it will stay open for at least 21 days. So if you have to start a little late, that's fine. Or maybe I've even started early sometimes. So we open up the group, then you have 3 days of prep where you can prepare your food, you can read, you can learn. We got lots of prizes and fun. And then we start on day 1 is the 7th of August. And we go for 10 days. And you have encouragement. You have support in the group. You check in with each other, or you create your own little group. Okay. And you can sign up for RevUp Wellness at this Linktree/RevUp Wellness, or if someone invited you here today, you can make sure you connect with them, because guess what? Normally it's $97. It's reduced down to $47, but you heard from some of these great coaches and educators today, and you can connect with one of them, or maybe you're connected with someone who's joining us, who's part of our coach team or part of our team. You can actually get in for free just for the cost of your products, your your NingXia Red. Okay. What do you get? 13 days of coaching, food plans, guides, mindset training, prizes, and fun. And they are amazing, awesome prizes. Community and support, smaller waist size. Woohoo. What does it cost? Normally $97. Summer tuition is $47, but that is waived if you are a coach's client or one of our current coaches client group members. Okay. I know that's a little confusing, but if you go to that link again up here, then once we get your registration, it takes us about 3 days. We'll let you know if you have free tuition or not. All right. So where do you get started? Your good is starting with the NingXia Red. We have a NingXia Red starter kit for only $145 plus shipping and handling. That is US. If you're in Australia or Canada, they will give you your coach will give you what you need to get started there. But this gives you the 100 ounces of NingXia Red that you need for a 10 days program. And that's a good place to start. A better is our enzyme in NingXia Red. You can pick one or both if you want, the Essential Zyme or Essential Zyme 4, Essential Zyme 4 in the NingXia Red starter kit. Okay, that's an even better option and you will see better results. Just plain and simple, you'll see better results. And the best option is we encourage, because you do have to have about 4 protein servings a day. That is what we recommend, that if you are like me and you're busy, get yourself a protein shake. Many of our coaches sell the Power Meal or the Pure Protein. This will last you even a little farther than the 10 days, but you can substitute one of those or even 2 of those a day. So the best option would be NingXia Red, your enzyme, and a protein shake so that you can substitute one of your red containers, one of your proteins every day. All right. And I want you to get back to the person who invited you and tell them what you liked best about this. I'm going to stop the recording here, but for those of you watching the replay, I want you to get back to the person who invited you here and tell them what you liked best about what you heard. What tip do you need to work on? Is it your sleep? Is it, you're not getting enough protein every day? You're overeating maybe in carbohydrates, or your NingXia Red just sits in the fridge and you need to do better. Okay, get back to them and let them know what you liked best about that. So great. Thank you so much.